orchestrated against Uhuru Kenyatta and myself.
Okay.
We had people who were hired to go to court here in Kenya after they didn't succeed at The Hague to stop us from running. We had people who were hired to go to court here in Kenya. They did not succeed.
Hired by your political opponents?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And we had all manner of schemes. In fact, we had a cabal at the OP who went ahead to register a political party called UDF and tried to orchestrate a succession around UDF.
Okay.
President Kenyatta and I charted a course, and we won against all those cabals.
Okay.
This case, Ken, was political in 2004, as it is now.
Okay.
And the issues around that case are very clear. In fact, in the 2004 scenario, I didn't even have to defend myself because the case was so straightforward, it ended at no case to answer. I didn't even have to defend myself.
There was lack of evidence.
Because there was not lack of evidence. There was no case to answer because the case is straightforward. The debt belonged to KANU. The former president directed the Ministry of Lands to give a piece of land to KANU so that KANU can pay a debt where KICC was being held by Transnational as security. The land was issued, it was transferred, the money was paid, and every coin went to Transnational Bank.
Okay.
So there was no case. In fact, the magistrate asked if the money went to Transnational Bank and Transnational Bank have accepted that the money went to them, why is Ruto in court?
Why is Gulay in court and all those people?
But because we have a situation, maybe you might want to know, Ken, that aside from this case that has been resuscitated, I had a discussion with the Director General of NSIS late last year. And for your information, there are characters who have already sent people to Kenya to resuscitate the ICC cases against me.
So that's part of the cabal.
So there is, that concoction of people.
In other words, we are likely to see even much more of this. They did not
succeed in the Moi case.
Okay.
They did not succeed in the Kibaki scenario. I want to tell you, they will not succeed in this particular situation. In fact, their failure will be spectacular.
I'm just wondering, Your Excellency, why this particular case? I mean, they could have chosen to pick any case. Why would they pick this particular case that was so spectacularly won in 2004? Why this particular case?
You never know, Ken Michungu. You never know what they are cooking.
Is it
maybe there will be other cases.
Okay.
As I told you, they have already arrived at the ICC case. They are already looking for witnesses around to say, oh, this case did not end properly. I don't know what.
Resuscitate the ICC.
Because my political competitors want to make every effort to stop my candidature.
Okay, but you realize,
but you see,
Your Excellency, you realize the ICC case was left open by the prosecutor. It was not closed, so it can be opened. She left it open. She said, when new evidence resurfaces, it shall be opened. But I'm still going back to this question, why this case? Because, Your Excellency, with all due respect, a lot of land cases have touched on you. Are you an easy choice, especially when it comes to a case dealing with land? Could that be the reason why it's easy for them to pick a land case, forgetting about the ICC?
You see, when I was a very easy target in the NAC administration. That's why they tried to look for a place. How do you slow down William Ruto? How do you stop this man? But you see, all the cases, whatever it is that they have gone to court with, they have never succeeded.
Okay.
And if I was guilty of anything, I want to tell you, Ken, I wouldn't be sitting here.
as the deputy president, of course. All right, the cabal, that's a big word, the cabal. Who are the cabal? Because I'm looking at the DCI and I'm looking at an office holder, appointee of the president, who can be hired and fired. You're part of the presidency. Who are the cabal? Who is within the cabal?
It is not for me to tell you. I am sure your guess is as good as mine.
All right, we'll come back to that question of corruption because it's a lot to discuss. But let's move to the BBI because we'll come back to that. Are you in Mombasa over the weekend?
The BBI, Ken, is a People of Kenya project. It is a program where every Kenyan, irrespective of your station, whether you are a Mama Mboga or you are a Makanga, whatever your station, this is your opportunity to make your contribution, to give your opinion, to give your suggestions on how to take Kenya forward. It is not a place where you ask me whether I'm going to Mombasa or whether somebody has allowed who to go to Mombasa or whether who has given what conditions to who to go to this meeting or that meeting. People must stop arrogating themselves the prefecture to say, I am the prefect, I'm going to decide who comes here, I'm going to decide who goes there. My friend, this is an open public discussion. You can join today, you can join yesterday, you can join the next day. In fact, for your information, I have already talked to Yusuf Haji, and I have told him the day they begin their hearings, I want an opportunity to go and
present
my ideas, because I am seeing that after we had accepted BBI 1, and everybody said, well, this is a fairly good document. It captures everything from what the ordinary people want all the way to what the politicians want. But I see already the BBI 2, politicians want to hijack it. And they want to make it look like it is now a place where we are going to discuss positions.
Okay.
And how we are going to discuss sharing of positions. I want to tell you that while there will be a discussion about positions, there must be a discussion about opportunity for other Kenyans, for ordinary Kenyans who don't have a job. What is their stake? How do we, in a deliberate way, create jobs? How do we ensure that nobody is left behind? That is the discussion we must put on the table. It cannot continue the way I see it trying to continue, that we are going to discuss about this position, Prime Minister that, Deputy President this, and this position.
So, but
is
that a yes? Is that a yes that you'll be in Mombasa on Sunday?
I have told
over the weekend.
I have told you, Ken.
Yes.
That it is not for me to tell you whether I'm going to this meeting or that meeting. I'm going to have a discussion with my boss, and we will agree what the nature of attendance in any of these meetings, because, in my opinion, we want the best possible chance. Explain to me, Ken, honestly, how you're going to collect views in a rally. Just explain to me. How
the rallies are meant to educate, because they are sending committee of experts to speak to the crowd.
You have listened to those rallies.
I have listened.
You listened to the rally in
Kakamega, the reason? Yes.
It was about Sugoi.
Which is
It was about William Ruto.
Your Excellency will get to that.
How will you put Sugoi and William Ruto in the final report of the BBI?
Before they spoke about William Ruto and Sugoi, there were a committee of experts that were on the podium to share the perspective of the BBI report with the people.
My friend.
They were there.
It was, I think, 5% of the meeting.
But you admit they were there. So there's a discussion on the BBI.
If you are going to a meeting where 5% of the time is discussion on the subject, and 95%
Is about something else.
insults and name calling, and you see, Ken, let's
Yes.
be honest
Yes.
with ourselves. There were people who believed and wanted to drive a narrative that William Ruto is going to oppose the BBI. In fact, some of them were dazed the day I said we support the BBI. They said they have lost the opportunity because there are people who have been looking for an opportunity to create camps.
Okay.
Much as we are talking about unity and inclusivity, there are people who are hell-bent on creating camps of yes versus no.
We are going to discuss,
when
we are going to
when
discuss
they
about
didn't get
the
that
people.
opportunity, just give me 1 minute.
Yeah.
When they didn't get that opportunity, they have gone to create rallies, right?
But it was
and
the
they want to
president
make,
who said,
no, and they want
it's
to
the
make
president
these
who
rallies,
said that in January you will be going out to sell this. It's the president who said
the
at
president
Bomas.
said every Kenyan should be given a copy
To read.
for
Yes.
themselves, and politicians should not go and pretend that they know everything. Every Kenyan should be given a chance to read.
And he
In
also
fact,
said, yes.
these rallies are working against what the president said. But be that as it may, those who are driving these rallies believed that let's drive the rally so that we create a group of people who are attending the rallies and a group of people who are not attending the rallies, so that they achieve their original intention of creating camps.
Okay.
And I have told you, we will not give them an opportunity to create camps. We will not give them the opportunity to divide Kenyans. So we are going to attend the rallies.
Okay.
And every Kenyan is free to attend the rallies. And we want the Yusuf Haji-led committee to begin the hearings that are structured so that people can go and present their views in a structured manner. The rallies can continue with all the drama around it, and with all the name calling if they must continue, and with everything else, that's fine. But we must also have, as was set up, the Yusuf Haji-led committee to present real opportunity for people to give their views so that we can bring on board the ideas, the suggestions of more Kenyans.
After the rally
on
that
this,
happened
program
in Kakamega,
Yeah.
you came out to castigate that rally, the rally that happened in Kisii, and you even questioned where they're getting the money to run around, selling a document that has no opposition, in your own words.
Correctly.
Suddenly, you want to join them, and you have forgotten the aspect of where are they getting the money to run around these rallies, and you're saying you're going to attend. So where did we lose this aspect of where are they getting the money? You forgot about it.
This is my position, Ken. I still believe, up to now, that public resources should not be expended on these rallies. That is my position.
Which is okay.
And I am not sure whether public money is being used or not.
But why did you say it?
If public money is being used,
Yes.
right? If public money is being used, then those who are using this public money will eventually, be called to account.
Okay.
If they have followed the due process, fine. If they will not have followed the due process,
They must
then
come.
they must answer. But you are telling let me answer your second part of your saying as if I changed my mind.
No, you spoke about resources being wasted, and
I spoke
suddenly
about resources
yes.
being wasted. But I have said, even as we attend the rallies, it is my position that these rallies should not be organized using public resources.
Good enough.
Because
good enough.
Public resources on matters to do with BBI are domiciled with the Haji Committee.
Great. So
unless Haji Committee finances these rallies, and a structured mechanism of how to collect views is arrived at, then we must have it. We cannot have it both ways.
All right.
Lastly,
yes.
Let me also say the following, because I think many Kenyans will believe, okay, did William Ruto change his mind?
Exactly.
Let me tell you, I have told you that as a leader in Kenya, I have a duty and a responsibility to look through schemes. When I realized that these rallies were being made to achieve the us versus them scenario, which failed when we all supported BBI, I said we're not going to give these people an opportunity to create and
A
us
division.
versus them, because there are people who are looking for the opportunity to divide Kenyans on a document that every Kenyan has agreed to support.
Okay.
Number two, I saw that there was a scheme to try and adulterate and create and hijack the BBI and make it something that Kenyans did not say.
You mean ODM rallies? That's what you said, specifically.
I'm saying these rallies.
Yes.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
you call them ODM rallies.
90% as up until we begin to attend.
Yes.
90% of the attendees
Would
have
be
been ODM.
Okay.
Yes, that's
All right.
the reality.
But there are so many people from your government who attend the rallies. I don't think they are ODM, they're civil servants.
I'm telling you, 90%
90%.
of the people who have been attending are ODM
All right,
supporters.
let me flip the coin, Your Excellency. If these BBI rallies are being used to popularize ODM, what if I said your inspection projects around the country were also being used as your campaign platform? You are using inspection projects around the country to campaign because your surrogates will talk about 2022, but you will talk about development.
I take a lot of exception to surrogates, please.
Okay,
Let's
I withdraw.
use,
Your allies,
language.
your allies, yes. They go around and they're campaigning for you for 2022, and they're saying you're political.
Let me tell you, Ken, there is a world of a difference. World of a difference between the meeting that I attend as deputy president and these rallies. A world of a difference. When I go to every place, there is no mobilization of people. It is not a rally. When I go to open a road, when I go to open a water project, when I go to launch, today I was in Embakasi West. Because of our 100% transition, we are building additional classrooms. I went to launch an additional classrooms in 2 schools. Those are not rallies. These are meetings about our agenda.
Okay.
Don't forget that I am deputy president, I earn a salary, and I have a job. You cannot, for 1 minute, say that when I go to do the job which I was elected by the people of Kenya to do, to oversee government projects, to make sure that I listen to Kenyans on the ground on matters either that are not working, on priority areas that we have
You're
not,
campaigning. But
factored. We have not factored
do you
in.
agree with me that you...
So these rallies
Yes.
is mobilization of people for 12 hours, seated, listening to rumors and insults.
That's
about
the other...
Ruto.
The other...
It's all over difference.
My
friend.
interest is this.
It is a world of a difference.
My interest is this. When you go to the public rallies with your allies...
I never go to public rallies. I have never been to a public
when you
rally.
attend these forums...
It's not a forum. When I just say, when you go and open the road, or you go and open the school like I did today.
And you have a crowd, and we have issues of politics being propagated on the platform. Is that not also doing politics, taking advantage of your role as the deputy president, and taking advantage of that platform that you have across the country to sell your agenda for 2022?
My friend, you know, I am a part of the people who created this government. How can I take advantage of my own government? What are you saying?
Because there are development forums.
This development forum
yes.
is I'm not a stranger. I am the one as part of this government who has orchestrated.
Which is
and
true.
For your information.
Yes.
If you are saying whether eventually the achievements of the Jubilee government will somehow be assigned to William Ruto, of course, yes, they will be assigned to William Ruto, you know, and the Jubilee Party, because we are the initiators of these projects and programs. So if you are saying, I am taking advantage, I mean, my friend, what are you saying?
My concern was more...
Are you saying
my concern was
I should not benefit...
No, that's not what I'm saying.
...from the fact that the Jubilee administration is rolling out a transformational program in Kenya.
Your Excellency,
this
that's not what I'm saying.
Led by Uhuru Kenyatta, myself as
that's
deputy
not what
president.
I'm saying.
That's what you're saying.
Your Excellency, that's that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying
yes.
is the same. I'm flipping the coin on you.
Yes.
This rally should be about BBI and telling people what its contents are. And by the way, they don't have even the proper document. They haven't read it. So the politicians are telling them. I'm just flipping the coin. Don't you think the same advantage these politicians are taking on these platforms, the 90%, is perhaps the same advantage the people behind you are taking, not you, to campaign for you in your presence? And by the way, your boss has been concerned about this, about the political environment, about the politics that cannot cease, that goes on in the country all the time.
My friend Ken, I challenge anybody in Kenya. Every place I have gone, including where I was today, I am so clear in my mind what my assignment is.
Okay.
Today, for example, let me give you today. If you open the clip and you are patient to listen to my statement from start to finish, I was discussing about 100% transition, which is government policy. I was discussing about the regeneration program of roads, which covers Eastlands. I was discussing about the water problem in Eastlands, where we are constructing a big pipeline worth 1.5 billion from Kiambu to Embakasi. I was discussing about sanitation, and I was informing the people of Embakasi that in June this year, we will be going back there with the president because we have a 10 billion program for sanitation of 200,000 households in Eastlands.
So basically,
that
it
is
was
the
development.
and I do that in every meeting because I know what my job is.
Your Excellency,
I am paid
the
for
concern
it,
is
and
not
I
you.
do with a lot of passion.
Your Excellency,
if it is not about
it's
me,
not about you.
If
It's
it is
the
not about
people
me,
you
my
go
brother,
with to
if
the
it is not about
political
me,
forums.
why don't you look for those people and ask them, why are you asking me the question?
I'm looking for you to ask you, why do you allow them to do that on the platform? Because you speak last. Why don't you challenge them not to do that?
For your information, many of these people are elected leaders in their own right. They are not my appointees. They are not my employees. They speak sometimes issues about the people. And in fact, many of them articulate issues. They tell me, Mr. Deputy President, this road has stalled. Mr. Deputy President, you guys promised us electricity. We've gotten only so many transformers. You promised us matters to do with expansion of universal health care. We haven't gotten this facility, we haven't gotten that facility.
Okay.
But you see, of course, the media chooses what to air.
All right.
And sometimes it's all politics, and people think that was all that was said.
Good enough, Your Excellency. Now that we are clear on the BBI, and I know you will attend the BBI forum, let's talk about the handshake briefly. Has your position changed about the handshake, or do you support the handshake?
Why are you asking a rhetorical question?
I want to know, has your position shifted now that you are supporting the BBI with a handshake? Because you believe that Raila Odinga came in to scuttle the Jubilee Party. And we'll talk about that. But has your position changed about the handshake?
Let me tell you, my friend. The handshake was a wonderful idea by His Excellency the President. And in fact, for your information, before the handshake came to be, it was a discussion that His Excellency the President had discussed with me, right? And we had agreed that it's necessary to bring the political temperatures down. The Honorable Raila Odinga has reached out, and I have said before, and I will repeat again, even before the Honorable Raila reached out to Uhuru Kenyatta, he reached out to me.
Do you regret not taking that handshake olive branch from Raila, when Raila Odinga reached out to you? Do you regret not doing it?
I don't regret.
You don't?
Because
yes,
I wanted, as Jubilee, you know, I am not the leader of Jubilee. I am not the president, right? I deferred to Uhuru Kenyatta when we folded URP and formed Jubilee as a party. And Uhuru Kenyatta being president and being the leader of Jubilee, if there was any approach from any corner, it should be through him. And for your information, every time Raila Odinga reached out to me, I informed His Excellency the President.
Okay. All right. So you support the handshake, but as Deputy President, we see a lot of times that you're also frustrated with this handshake, especially the people that perceive you as not pro-handshake. I've heard your allies speak about your frustrations. Today I want you to tell Kenyans if indeed you feel a little bit or at most some frustration with your own government. Because there are a lot of people who see you as an outsider of the handshake.
Ken, you have talked so much about allies and these other people. You know, if you tell me who they are, I can help you so that I can arrange so that you can ask them. You know, please. This interview is between me
I understand.
and you.
I understand. I understand you, Deputy President. But you know the people
allies.
I'm speaking about. You know the people I'm speaking about.
Why don't you get an appointment and speak to them?
That's why I said today I want you to tell me if you, as the Deputy President, feel frustrated with your own government. Do you feel frustrated?
Why would you come to that conclusion?
Because you look frustrated, Deputy President.
Oh, the way
the way you look, your body language in public forums, you look frustrated.
Are you?
With your
do
own
you have
government.
certain gifts, Ken, to try and know whether somebody is?
All right, let me bring it
which I'm
closer
not
home.
aware of.
When you complain about civil servants who are taking advantage of being in the civil service and misusing their powers and even going to politics, as the Deputy President, don't you think it's beyond you, or beneath you rather, to complain about civil servants who I will assume you should be the supervisor of the government business? When you talk about them and we look at it in terms of you are frustrated by what they are doing, and instead of addressing them in your boardrooms, you address them in political rallies. Don't you think probably from the outsiders you have tried to correct this from the boardrooms and you're unable, and then you have to take it to the political platforms?
So are you saying, Ken, because there was a circular issued by the head of public service that ministers and public servants should not participate in politics around the BBI. Are you saying that is a sign of frustration as well?
No.
So?
I'm concerned with what you say in the platforms. That's what concerns me. The circular memo is okay.
Like what?
Like complaining that civil servants are taking advantage of their positions and using it for unintended reasons. Like if you want me, you have named your team, not you again. Your team has named Karanja Kibicho. They've named Fred Matiang'i, and they've accused them of misusing their powers. They've been explicit on this.
You see, I would really want us to keep this interview as between me and you. These people you call allies, they are leaders in their own right. You can invite them for an interview, and you can ask them.
All right. So you are not frustrated by any civil servant. Even if you speak about it, it's because of an extension of the circular that was made. And you're just telling them,
absolutely,
this is not...
it is my position, and I have voiced it, that public servants should serve the people of Kenya.
But why on the platform, Your Excellency? Why on political platform?
What is wrong with that?
Why don't you address it in the boardroom?
What is wrong with saying it in public?
Because it looks as though you're complaining to the public.
That is the official position.
It
is not something we are hiding under the carpet. The president has said so in public. It doesn't mean it is a sign of, for example, the other day when the president was addressing the security agencies, he said, whoever is going to mess up in one station will not be transferred to another station.
Exactly.
I mean, so we communicate in public. There is no big story there.
Okay. The other issue is when you began your journey with the President Uhuru Kenyatta,
yep,
we saw a lot of friendship. We saw a lot of bromance, if I may call it, colloquial language. There's a lot of love. You were in matching shirts and ties, and at one time you're even holding your hands. Called press conferences to announce the cabinet. You were right there. Deputy President, we have a feeling that that friendship between you and the President is gone. The bromance is gone. The love is gone.
Ken, I have heard many stories, and I have read many headlines. The marriage is has died. Bromance and love. My friend, Uhuru Kenyatta is married to Margaret. I am married to Rachel. There is no marriage of business here. We were elected, people of Kenya, to do a job. Yeah? Uhuru Kenyatta as president, me as his assistant. Right? What you should be asking me is, are you delivering on the job that you are given by Kenyans?
I'm going to ask you about that, Your Excellency.
So, style, what you're saying is neither here nor there.
It is, because that's what the picture you showed us, Your Excellency.
Again,
that's
you have gone back to these skills you have, reading, I don't know,
But is the truth? It's no longer there. It's no longer there.
That's according to you.
Yeah?
That's according to you.
Is there a point that you have heard that perhaps you are fighting the president? You're against the president. Have you heard this narrative?
I have heard.
Yes. Are you fighting the president?
For your, just before I, by way of answering.
Yes.
Many of the people who are running this narrative, William Ruto does not respect Uhuru Kenyatta, the president. William Ruto is against the president. William Ruto is fighting the president. These people, many of them, are people in NASA. People who have never voted for Uhuru Kenyatta. Let me tell you, Ken, where we began with Uhuru Kenyatta. I knew Uhuru Kenyatta in 1998, 1999. For your information, even the first time for Uhuru Kenyatta to come to Parliament as a nominated member, the former President Moi sent me to Makto to resign so that Uhuru Kenyatta can be nominated as a member of Parliament. And Uhuru Kenyatta knows. I had a rough time with Makto, persuading him, and he gave me a list of conditions, and I explained to the former president, and I explained to Uhuru Kenyatta. That's how far back I go. For your information, in 2002, when former president decided that Uhuru Kenyatta is going to be our candidate, very many people in Kenya gave lukewarm support. I stood by Uhuru Kenyatta up to where he conceded. Let me tell you a story. When we were sitting in State House, as the results came in, we were almost 50 members of parliament. But when the time came for Uhuru Kenyatta to go and make the concession speech, we left State House 50, we arrived Serena 3. Only.
Okay.
And one of the 3 was yours truly, William Ruto.
Was the other
Let me
one?
also tell you, yeah, you have the clip, you will see. Let me also tell you, when 2017 and 2013 came, yeah, and Uhuru Kenyatta was looking for somebody to support him, Kalonzo Musyoka refused, Musalia refused, even Eugene refused. The only serious politician who was willing to cede his ambition for Uhuru Kenyatta was William Ruto.
The arrival of Raila Odinga.
And you see,
yes.
So if you are talking about respect, surely, if there is one person who has supported Uhuru Kenyatta at every turn, the only people who maybe have done more for Uhuru Kenyatta in terms of political issues is maybe Margaret, his wife, who supports him, and members of his family. There is no politician who has supported Uhuru Kenyatta more than myself.
Again, I'll go back to this.
And so all these shenanigans and stories being peddled by people who are insulting Uhuru Kenyatta the other day with calling him all manner of names, calling him all manner of names. Today, they want to give me a lecture
on how to relate with
supporting Uhuru Kenyatta. Surely,
honestly,
give me a break, please.
While you have unfeated, while you have respected the president, again, I'll go back to this, and I'll mention it. The people you work with still attack the president on the podium and make demands which look like they're doing it on your behalf.
You see, again, you are going to people and allies. And these are not babies. They are not my employees. These are people who you
Why don't you stop
Ken
them,
Michungu,
Deputy President?
when you, Ken Michungu,
Yes.
can deal with them.
Why don't you stop them?
And you see,
Yes.
this is the narrative that has been sold, yeah, that is being sold by the media. Or, you know, these people don't respect Uhuru Kenyatta.
But we
or
don't
these
put words
people
in their
don't
mouth,
respect-
Your
or these
Excellency.
people
They
don't respect
speak.
the president.
They speak.
Let me tell you, if there is respect, if there is loyalty, that must be displayed. There is nobody who has displayed loyalty to Uhuru Kenyatta and respect for
Would you
His
extend-
Excellency
would you-
better than myself. And for your information,
Yes.
being a Christian myself, I know very well that Uhuru Kenyatta is not president by mistake or by default. President Uhuru Kenyatta is president today because God has ordained so.
Why
and
would you
I have
stop
a
these
duty,
people, Deputy
and
President?
I have a duty to make sure that I respect the president, I am loyal to the president.
Your Excellency, that's not in dispute. My question is, you speak last.
These other people.
Yes,
these other
I will not
people,
speak about
Ken,
them,
These
but
other
you
people.
speak last.
Why don't you go and ask them?
You speak last. Why don't you correct them? You
My
speak
friend,
last in every forum. Why don't you just tell them
will-
what you said about my boss is not
You will
right?
be surprised as to how much war I have with all these people.
Okay.
And even if you ask them, you know, even if you ask them, more often than not, I actually want to speak and finish the meeting even before other people speak. In fact, many of the times, they complain that they are harassed, that they are told, you cannot say this, you cannot speak for long, you cannot make this demand. I have gone out of my way. But you see,
You can't control them
You are dealing
with
with
mature
politicians.
people.
You are
Okay.
dealing with people who have their own minds and heads. And for your information, please, why doesn't everybody carry their cross?
Which is true,
Why-
but I'm
why are
asking you in that
why are
spirit,
you-
in that
why are
spirit
you
of
asking
respect,
me
and
to
you,
carry the
you're the
cross of other
senior most
people?
politician in the Jubilee government after President Uhuru Kenyatta.
Correct.
In terms of rank.
Correct.
Because you speak last, and this is the last time I'm asking you this question, and you say they don't listen to you, would you stop working with them? Because the crowd that is always behind you is the same crowd all over.
Let me
Why
ask
don't you
you,
stop
let me tell
working
you,
with them?
let me tell you, my friend, more often than not, maybe you think, you know, there is this narrative that William Ruto is working with this, is going around with this person, William Ruto is paying money. In fact, I've heard those stories, paying this one to come to this meeting, paying this one to come to this meeting. My brother, I go to many meetings. When I go to the coast, you will find that it is members of parliament from the coast who are there. When I go to Mount Kenya, it's members of parliament from Mount Kenya who are there. I never carry anybody from any other corner.
Okay, but
Right? So let us be, you know, let us put this to rest.
all right.
I have told you my position.
Okay.
I have told you these other people are grown-ups. Go look for them, ask them these
That's
questions,
question.
and deal
Good
with
enough. Good enough. Your Excellency, time to take a short break, but we still have a lot to discuss because the issue about the Deputy President and his relationship with the President, who he calls his friend, is not yet over. So when we come back, I still have one or two questions about your relationship with President.
When are
Ruto.
we going to discuss about the
We are going to
Jubilee
discuss, so
administration
we have
and our
time.
scorecard?
We have time. We're going to discuss that. Let's take a break. We're back from Karen.